Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. I have another new pen day for you guys, and this is actually a bit of a special new pen day. I was contacted by Benu to review a new series of pens, or a new-ish series of pens that they have released, and this is their hand-painted series. As you know, if you've watched a few of the videos on my channel, I am a huge fan of Benu pens. I think they're excellent for shimmer inks especially, and they're just overall really fun. So I really enjoy their pens. I think they're a great fun take on a fountain pen if you're wanting something a bit more vibrant, a bit more, I don't know, artistic in a way. And their hand-painted versions are even more artistic. I do want to say that I'm going to give you my entire honest opinion of the pen today and everything that goes down. All of my opinions are my own. They just sent me the pen to review for you guys, and I am really happy with the colorway I chose, and I'm excited to see it in person. If you've never had a Benu pen before or never seen a Benu unboxing before, this is the standard box that their pens come in. It's a nice white little classic box. It's small. I enjoy small boxes, honestly, just for storing purposes. I do keep the boxes for all my pens, just in case I resell them or I need to move them. It's just they're safe in their little boxes. Also comes with a very long standard converter here. I think you could use this and then clean it out and replace it with the ink if you wanted to. The pen also comes with a converter, and you can eyedropper these pens too. So I don't really use these super long converters. I just save them for whatever I want at some later time in my life. You will also get a nice long, receipt to read here with the warranty, product information. Read that at your own leisure. And let's just open the pen. So I'm going to be showing you guys the pen, doing comparisons in size, and also filling it up because I do want to ink this pen up for the month of March because it's perfect for what I want to do for the month of March. Anyways, enough about the box. Here is the pen that I chose. This is the Benu Euphoria model, and this is part of their hand-painted series, like I mentioned, and this is in the Lotus Grace. This is a BenuPens.com exclusive. You can only get this on their website. This does retail for approximately $280 US, and they have so many designs to pick through now, and they have them on other models too. So if you like the talisman model, they have some talisman models. They have some of their briolets. I really just enjoy the Euphoria model the most because I like the facets and how shiny they look when you kind of turn them. It's like a little gemstone. But let me zoom you guys in so we can appreciate some of this hand-painted artwork, and then I will do some size comparison. So the reason why I went with the Lotus Grace was mainly because this is really just a colorway that speaks to me, but also because I love like meditation and just nature, and I don't know, it just really spoke to me on a spiritual level, I guess. But we have a little dragonfly on here. We have the lotus flowers and blooms, and then some lily pads. I really just love the look of this pen and the resins that they chose, and that it's a bit more of like a darker purple to a clearer like lilac here in the middle, and then at the top same with these kind of like green shimmery pieces. I also feel like I have a lot of inks that match this type of pen. If I wanted to do color matches, I just really, I don't know, I saw the colorway and I was like, that's the one for me. Benu clips are great. I do like the Benu clips. I do wish they offered gold trim on everything, but I know that is just not something that's really available for their standard line of pens. I think they do have some gold trimmed things that are actually gold nibs, and they are much pricier. If we wanted to do a turn test like the other Benu pen or other Benu Euphorias I have, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 2 turns, but let's double check. So we have 1, 2, and a little bit. So like maybe 2 1/4. We'll do it one more time. So we have 1, 2, yeah, I'd say probably 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 turns. Not terrible. The Daily Mate is another pen I recently reviewed, and that has like 5 turns. So I definitely appreciate, I guess, the smaller turns just for quickness when using a pen like this. Here is the nib. It is a Schmidt nib, and I chose a medium. I'm a huge fan of the medium Schmidt nibs, especially for shimmer inks. Like I said, this is one of my favorite pen brands to use shimmer inks for, but I also really like the fine nibs that they offer too. I believe they also have broad and stub nibs available. If not, I will put on the screen if that is not the case. It comes with a converter, like I mentioned. Let me unscrew the back here. So this is the super long converter, which acts as like a little mini piston, if you will. The little plunger goes down. And then if you really wanted to, you can eyedropper the back of this, which will hold a lot of ink. You'll just need to put a little bit of silicone grease here on the threads. There may even be space enough to put an O-ring if you wanted to be extra secure, and then you could eyedropper the pen that way. That's also why I wanted to get one with a bit more of a clear resin. I just really love the look of the ink kind of splashing around in there. I'm not going to be eyedroppering this pen today. I'm just going to be using the converter, but it is an option if that is something you were interested in. Okay, now let's go ahead and compare sizing to some other pens that I have in case you've never seen a Euphoria model with anything else. Okay, so first off, here is it next to a 𝗦𝘂𝗧, which is another one of the newer Benu releases that they have done. I do not have a talisman to show you, but I do have other Benu Euphorias. So I will show you the other two Benu Euphorias I have. This is the Iced Caramel Latte Benu Euphoria, which is a Goulet Pens exclusive. And this is an Earl Grey Tea Euphoria, which is another one of the Goulet Pens exclusives. So you can see it is definitely your standard Euphoria model. The 𝗦𝘂𝗧 is slightly shorter. Okay, that's all the Benu pens I have. I'm going to leave the 𝗦𝘂𝗧 there, and then I'm going to compare it to a 𝗬𝘁𝘵 Eco. This is the 𝗬𝘁𝘵 Eco in Glow Green. I will also compare it to a Pelikan M200. And my favorites, the Esterbrook SD. So we can see the Euphoria is a large pen. I'm going to go ahead and uncap these. Okay, so uncapped, the Benu Euphoria is definitely closest to the length of a 𝗬𝘁𝘵. It's slightly longer if we were to like measure up here with the nibs. The 𝗦𝘂𝗧 is shorter than that. Pelikan M200 much shorter, and the SD is probably about the same length as a 𝗦𝘂𝗧 or so. So yeah, it is a long pen. It is a large pen. It does post, in case you were curious. The facets do line up and the cap does post, but to me that makes it an extra long pen. I think this gets to be a bit ridiculous if we were to post this pen. Unposted is likely how I will use it, and also because I would like to protect the artwork on the back here. I wouldn't want unposting to kind of scratch that up. Not saying that it would, but over time, wear and tear does happen to pens when you post them, and this would be something that I would want to preserve. Plus, it's pretty good length for my hands. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up with you guys on camera, and then we will do a writing sample. Okay, so I've already chosen the ink that I want to put in the pen that's going to match the kind of theme that I'm going for in terms of my March inks. But I wanted to show you guys in comparison how this pen would look if you wanted to look through my ink swatch collection, if you will, and see what kind of matches. So this is my magenta inks in here, and I think any of these would look really good. Diamine Tranquility is nice and shimmery with like a gold teal shimmer thing going on. Even Diamine Deep Magenta would match kind of like the painting of the lotus flowers. Really, any of these are beautiful. Midway the Magnificent. And then Magenta Red Copper was another one I considered for this because it has a green sheen with like a coppery shimmer and a more magenta base. I also thought about doing Ferris Wheel Press's Sugar and Spite. Again, this is if you're like wanting to match more of like the lotus flowers on this pen. But traditionally, I would probably want to put a purple ink in this because it is a purple pen. So these are all of the purple inks that I have. One of my favorite is definitely the Diamantes is Alexander Hamilton, but I felt that might be a bit too dark for the purple resin in here. But one of the inks that I really thought would be perfect was Kiwi Ink's A Witch's Potion. It's like this dark purple ink with this green sheen, and I thought the green sheen matched the sparkles really well on this. And then if we wanted to even go into something a bit more sparkly, we'll say, we'll have to get to the shimmer inks here. And I thought even Diamantes' Brilliant Violet Copper would be a good option because that one also has some green sheen with it with like a coppery shimmer. Even, where was the other one I had in here that I really liked? Versal Press's Poison Envy I thought would be absolutely perfect because it's this deep purple with another kind of purpley golden shimmer with this green sheen. And same with Diamine's Raise a Glass from the 2023 Purple Ink Vent. I thought that would be another really fun one. And you could even go with contrasting colors with this and do some of like the more browns or brown pinks and see if that matches a bit better with the lotus flowers. Overall, I think there's a lot of great ink choices for Benu pens because of the range and depth of colors they choose. But ultimately, what I decided to go with to ink this with to match the theme that I'm going for is 𝗦𝘃𝗄𝗄 Persephone. So I'm going to zoom you guys in. And I really liked 𝗦𝘃𝗄𝗄 Persephone because I felt like the shading from like the dark purple to light purple matched the pen really well, but also because there's pink in the lotus flowers and there's like a pinkish shimmer. I don't know, I felt like that would be a really good match for this one. And again, it's kind of like matching my theme. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up with you guys now. Okay, so I'm gonna basically just take the pen completely apart. I'm gonna take the back barrel off, and then I'm actually going to take the converter out as well because I don't really have that much left in this sample and I won't be able to submerge my nib completely. That is one of the downsides of having samples, is it's a bit challenging to get the nibs fully submerged if you don't have enough ink left. And so what I'm going to be doing instead is syringe filling, which I don't know if I've ever done this on camera with you guys, so we're going to do it today. So I'm going to syringe fill this converter, and then I'm going to dip the nib in whatever's left inside here, and just to get the capillary motion kind of flowing. And I may even flood the feed just a little bit. So again, this is 𝗦𝘃𝗄𝗄 Persephone. It is a shimmer ink, so I'm going to give this a good swirl just to get that shimmer kind of motivated. And this is a sample vial holder from Olive Frog's Designs, in case anybody was curious. And I'm just going to take my blunt nose syringe, so this has no sharpness to it, and I'm going to stick this into the ink vial and just pull up about that much. I think that's probably like a mil or so. And then I'm going to take the blunt nose of the syringe and stick it into the converter itself like this. You see the end of the syringe? And I'm going to slowly depress the plunger on the back of the syringe to fill the cartridge or the converter. And I'm not going to go all the way to the top just because I want to leave a little bit of space in there in case it needs to move, like burp a little bit, because this is a shimmery ink. And then whatever's left in the syringe, I'm just going to squirt back into the sample vial. You don't have to do that. Since this is a sample, I just squirt it back in. If I did have like a lot left in here, I may squirt it into something else just in case there was some kind of contaminant, but I feel perfectly comfortable with how I am right now with this. Anyways, and then I'm going to clean my syringe over here, which I have a little thing of water. Okay, so before I drop this again and make a giant mess, I'm going to stick the converter into the back of the nib section of the pen. So this connects to the nib right in here. You might be able to see it with the kind of clear resin this has. And then I'm going to take the back of the barrel and re-screw this back on. And I'm going to dip the nib of the pen into the ink. Okay, so I let the pen sit for a minute. I had something happen outside that I need to go take care of really quick, and I came back, so it's probably like, I don't know, 5 minutes. After dipping the nib into the ink down here, it would have started the capillary action, which would move the ink from the converter. So the ink from the converter would then flow into the nib itself, just for any of my beginners out there. I'm going to go ahead and give this a good little tap to get the ink to drop down even more. And that way we should have a full, smooth capillary action in writing. And if it doesn't work out, I will go ahead and flood the feed, and I'll show you guys how to do that too. Okay, so this is the Benu Euphoria model, hand painted in the Lotus Grace. And I have this in a medium Schmidt steel nib. And it is inked with 𝗦𝘃𝗄𝗄 Persephone. and she is writing beautifully. I have never received a Benu pen that did not write straight out of the box. And I didn't even wash this one. This is full, I just inked it up and this is what we're going with, which is something I can really appreciate, especially when you're paying a premium for a premium pen. I want it to work straight out of the box. I don't want to have to do any shimming. I don't want to have to do any kind of finagling. I want the nib to be great. And I've never had a bad Benu nib, which I'm very, very pleased with, for sure. So kudos to Benu for that. In terms of the wetness, she's juicy, which is one thing I do like about these pens. And I also like, again, that they handle shimmer so well. Let's go ahead and do just some writing. Oh man, I love this ink so much. Okay, sorry, this ink has been on my full bottle wish list for a while, and I told myself I'm not allowed to buy a bottle until I finish my sample, so we're finishing the sample. But I'm really happy with the way this pen and ink pairing has behaved. So final thoughts on the Benu Euphoria hand painted Lotus Grace is I love it. It's my first more, I guess, colorful Benu, even though the other ones I have are a bit colorful too, but this one's like purple and the other ones I have are more like browns and oranges, or browns and golds, I guess. But yeah, I'm very pleased with this Benu. I do want to say that I do not have a discount code for them. I really just, they reached out to me and wanted me to review a pen, so I am. I don't receive any commission or anything for doing this. It's just the pen itself. And I wish I had a discount for you guys, but maybe in the future, if we get enough, you know, kudos to Benu, we will have some kind of good discounts, like some other pen brands that we really like around here. But I do have a link for this specific pen down in the comments if you're curious, and it'll take you directly to Benu's website and you can shop for whatever design piques your interest. There are so many. They have ones that are a bit more cartoon, some that are a bit more of like the Japanese style art. They have seriously a huge collection of the hand painted pens now, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, for joining me today for another new pen day. If you want to see this in action, I will be using this for the month of March 2024. I will be sharing my currently inked at some point in that month, and y'all get to see and hear all about my thoughts about how this pen and ink pairing at least have gone. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're staying warm if it's snowing where you are, because it's snowing here in Texas, which is wild. But yeah, be blessed. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.